I'm back for episode 2. This month we're talking about profitability and running ad campaigns on Meta, which you probably are as a DTC supplement brand owner. It's a great acquisition channel and can really teach customers about your brand and your products, but there's some catches to it, as we talked about in the last video. If you haven't checked it out yet, by the way, please go ahead and do that first. What we talked about that time is how you can determine whether or not you're actually getting new customers who haven't purchased from you before from your Meta campaigns, and a proxy that I built to help you determine that, which is called the Meta Profitability Scorecard. If you want to grab that, if you haven't already, the link to it is in the description of this video and the last one. It's totally free. It's a Google spreadsheet that you can just make a copy of, save it to your own drive, and plug in your own unique numbers, which is great. What I'm talking about today is something that people might call like the dark side of Meta ad campaigns. And what I mean by that is that Meta's job is to optimize for the click, yes, or the conversion, so the purchase. But the problem is that it can't see what happens after that. And why you should care about that is because you're a supplements brand and you basically live or die on subscriptions and repeat purchases. The problem is that Meta cannot see that, right? And so what could be happening, and probably is happening, is that you're probably optimizing your campaigns for the wrong type of customers who never subscribe and make follow-up purchases. And that's a big problem for your longevity and sustainability as a brand, as well as your valuation if you're looking to exit. So I'm going to get into that one today. So you're not going to want to miss this one. It's something that isn't talked about very often. So this is crucial for supplements brands owners. Please take a listen. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, all I do is talk about DTC supplements brands and ways to make your brand bigger and more successful and more profitable. So hit the subscribe button if you like this type of content, because I'm happy to help. Real quick about me, I'm Erin Cardoni. I founded Legendary Ecom Growth Partners. We've been in business since 2015, and all we do is help DTC supplements brands grow and scale your supplements company. Whether you're looking to exit or merge or just want to be growing and more successful, we're here to help you do that. This is my channel, The Active Ingredient, and I am a former Shopify product brand owner. So I know what it's like to be on your side of the table and make those P&L decisions and marketing budget decisions every single month or every single day sometimes. And I successfully exited my brand after about 2 months on the market. So I want to help you be more successful by learning not only what I learned as a Shopify brand owner myself, but also as an expert marketer who's been doing this for a very long time and helping loads of DTC supplements brands grow and scale profitably, whether that's for an exit or not. In my last video, I talked about your return on ad spend, or ROAS, on Meta. And if that looks good, whether you're doing your marketing in-house or with a vendor partner like an agency or a contractor, high ROAS, generally speaking, is thought of as an indicator of profitability. And so when we see a high ROAS over 4 or 5 or 6, which you might be seeing, the general recommendation is to scale spend there. Last video was about whether or not that ROAS is really coming from new customers, so growing your brand with new buyers, or if we're really recycling old customers or repeat customers who would have purchased from you anyways, which indicates actually wasted spend. What I'm going to talk to you today is the other side of this, where even if you're getting new customers from your Meta campaigns because you've used the scorecard, which has a proxy for calculating what percentage of new customers are coming from your Meta campaigns. And if things are looking great and you're thinking about scaling, I want to talk about the other side of this. And that is what happens after that first click or that first purchase. Because what you need to know is, are those customers coming from your Meta campaigns? We're just talking about Meta specifically here. Are they going to repurchase? Are they going to come back? Are they getting into your subscription program? Or are they a one and done purchase that are never going to buy from you again? You really need to know the difference, because that's really going to determine how much you're going to want to pay to acquire that new customer. Because in supplements, the key is that profitability is coming usually not from that first purchase. It's coming from those repeat orders. So that lifetime value is the key determination of whether your acquisition campaigns are successful or not. So in your Meta Ads Manager, you will see a number called CAC, or cost per acquisition. Now that's what it costs to acquire a new customer from your Meta campaigns. Okay, you can't trust that number, and there's 4 reasons why. The first one is privacy restrictions. So back in the iOS 14 days, for those of you who remember that, Meta really made it difficult to track customer journeys because of privacy restrictions. So that's one of the reasons. The second one is multi-device journeys. Let's say you see or click on an ad on your phone, or your customer does, and then they go to their desktop or their laptop or their iPad in some cases later, and that's where they complete their purchase. That can be affecting things as well. New customer classification. What I explained in the last video is that a customer might use a different email to use their Meta account or their Facebook account than what they're using to make a purchase. So your new customer attribution within the Meta Ads platform is generally only accurate to kind of 40 to 60%. So you can't really trust the number that's in there, hence the proxy and the scorecard that I created for you. And the last one is actually attribution bias. The fact is, and all advertising channels basically do this, you can't trust what Meta tells you your conversion value is from the campaigns, because it's over attributing, and it says that conversions that came from other channels, it's attributing to itself. Here's what that looks like in practice. If Meta is reporting a acquisition cost, or CAC, of $35 to you, but 40% of those customers or new customers were already yours, then your actual cost of acquiring a new customer is closer to $58. And that, as you know, is going to really affect your decisions around how you allocate your budget towards your Meta campaigns. In my last video, I talked about how tracking numbers like these is almost impossible with Meta specifically. And that's because, right, you can't just go into your Shopify dashboard or like Admin Center and see which percentage of your customers are new versus returning, and then divide that by the spend that went to your Meta campaigns in order to determine, what percentage of the customers coming from Meta specifically were new. And the reason for that is because your new customer percentage in Shopify is coming from all of the different acquisition channels that you have running, which might be Meta, yes, but also maybe Google, your SEO, your direct traffic, other referrer sites that are sending traffic to you, your direct traffic, your email marketing, your Google campaigns, anything like that. And there are amazing attribution tools that sort all of this out for you. One of them is Triple Whale, a partner of ours. And that is a wonderful tool for brands on the larger side. The fact is that the cost there could be anywhere from $500 or $600 a month up to $1,500 a month plus, which is totally worthwhile for certain kinds of brands. But if all you're trying to figure out are these numbers that I'm talking about here, that cost might be a little bit out of your reach. Totally fine. That's why I built you this scorecard tool as a proxy to help you loosely figure this out. And the workaround in the scorecard that I created for you is actually to check both numbers. So what is Meta reporting to you as your new customer count or percentage? And what is Shopify reporting as your new customer percentage? Compare the two. What's the variance there in order to determine which one is kind of closer to the truth? Let me talk about why this is specific to supplements. So I've talked about in other videos something called the confidence curve, and this is very common in the supplements category here, which is when customers make their first purchase from you, they are excited to try something new. They might have actually probably done a fair bit of research already about your brand and your competitors and what their specific needs are. And they've found you, and it looks like you're gonna fill those needs. So they're at a high kind of confidence point because they've done that research. So then they make a couple of purchases from you. But then what happens around the 3rd to 6th purchase mark is something called the confidence dip. And the reason is that after they've used your product a few times and tried it out, and maybe it's working, they might look for what's even better. And so that is the point, that kind of 3 to 6 purchase point is where we see customers drop off. And that's the point that really affects your customer lifetime value, because those customers aren't staying very long if they're dropping off at that point. Now, to bring this first full circle for you, what we're talking about here in this video is that Meta, and probably your reporting dashboard as it is right now, can't see which customers coming from your Meta campaigns are sticking around past that third, fourth, or sixth purchase point. And that's really important, because knowing that number is going to help you determine how much you should spend on your Meta campaigns in general, and which of your Meta campaigns are getting you the customers that not only make a purchase, but most importantly, stay with you the longest and spend the most over time. That's a high customer lifetime value, and that is crucial to the success of your business in the supplements category. Now, in supplements, the unfortunate fact for us is that the cost to acquire new customers tends to be pretty high. Now, the payoff happens later, right? In that lifetime value calculation. So, okay, yes, maybe we're paying $35 or $55 to acquire a new customer, but the payback period can be kind of short depending on your average order value and repurchase rate. What we really want to see is that over a period of 12 months, that the ratio of how much that customer is worth to you, so the lifetime value over a 12-month period, is 3 times higher than what it cost you to acquire them in the first place. So that's called LTV to CAC ratio. I do talk about it pretty often, but just to give you a sense of how that works and why it matters. Again, Meta can't see that. That lifetime value means nothing to Meta. So what I built for you, this scorecard, can really help you determine what that lifetime value from your Meta customers is. Are you spending the right amount to acquire those customers? And if not, do you need to make a fix to your campaigns right now in order to sort all of this out, in order to improve the longevity and sustainability of your supplements brand? And I made it all really easy for you. The scorecard, the Meta Profitability Scorecard, again, the link is in the description, tells you exactly where to find all of this information. I made it really easy for you to find so you can determine all of this. And it's going to walk you through both of the calculations that I mentioned in this video and the last one, which percentage of customers more or less are coming from your Meta campaigns, and how long are they staying, and how much are they spending with you over a 12-month period. Super important information. And with that scorecard, you're going to be saving, like I said, $600 to $1,500 a month on attribution tools that you may not need at this point in your business. So please grab it. It's totally free. Like I said, I think it's really going to help you out, and I'd love to know if you found it helpful. So if you did, please drop me a comment right here. I'm going to check it and I will respond to you. I'd really like to know if it helped you out, and if you learned anything or figured out that there was something broken with your campaigns that you can now fix because you have this visibility from the scorecard. Okay, that's it for today's video. I have one more coming in this series where I'm going to bring all of the numbers together into one nice package for you, so that you can make a really clear and informed decision about whether or not you should be spending more on your Meta campaigns, if you should keep things steady, or if it's time to fix something that's a little bit broken in the system so that you can make it better and grow more in the future. So thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to hit the subscribe button if you like this video and you want more content like this. I produce about once a week. And if there's ever anything that you want me to talk about on my channel, let me know, drop a comment. I'd be happy to consider it for a future video.